Hey everybody, welcome back to another Coffee with Carriers. I'm Jeff Grocky, VP of Marketing for Amwins Connect, and I'm here with a couple of special friends from Emeritus, Jake Bendler and Todd Whitehill. Thanks for joining me, guys.
Jeff, so great to be here. Thanks for the time and attention. We can't wait. Again, my name is Jake Bendler. I'm the Director of National Accounts and National Partnerships at Emeritus.
I'm Todd Whitehill, the Regional Vice President of Emeritus for the Western Region.
Before we jump into it, I think I want to tell you what an honor it is to have the both of you here. First of all, we've just recently become acquainted. This is a special episode for me, not only because I get to have a couple of new friends on set, but also it's the first one that I've personally hosted as somebody that's been behind the camera for most of these episodes. So this is a special treat for me, and I would love to get a little bit more about the two of you out to the audience as well.
Well, I think first off, it's a really special treat for Todd, too. He's been a consummate fan of Coffee with Carriers.
That's true, yes. As I was explaining to you both before we got started, it is an honor to be here as well. We're grateful for this opportunity. As I prepared, I definitely spent some time watching the Kaiser episode, the good conversation you had with Michael Payton at Cal Choice, United Healthcare, and a few others. So we are very happy to be here, so thank you.
Yeah, no, that's phenomenal. I'm glad that you guys prepared a little bit because we're going to get into it. I want to ask, though, a little bit about the background each one of you has coming into the industry. Emeritus is been a great partner for us, and I want them to get a little knowledge about the two of you individually and your roles as well within the organization. Jake, do you want to kick it off?
Happy to. In fact, born and raised in the Midwest, rural Midwest, Nebraska, in fact, and both of us are, which is great. Go Big Red, right? But, you know, working at Emeritus was my first real job, I'll say, out of college. Started as a professional relations specialist, which was a fancy way of saying that I worked with our providers, our dentists, and ended up taking a role out in the Pacific Northwest as a provider network rep. And I'll tell you, if there's a way to indoctrinate yourself in sales, it's certainly through that. Go try visiting 20 to 30 dentists every single day, recruiting them for PPO networks. Certainly not for the faint of heart, but it definitely gives you a great lens into how valuable our PPO relationships are, and really that direct view that we have into our customers is through our PPO dentists. And you know, ended up moving to Central California to run our small group, and now as the director of our national partnerships and national accounts, work with all of our strategic leaders, our top producers, as well as our GA partnerships and all of our technology distributions.
Thanks, Jake. I appreciate the background, and I think our audience will too. Todd, tell me a little bit about you, how you got in the industry, what your purview is at this point.
Sure. I don't know how far we want to go back, but I'm gonna take you way back.
The day you were born.
Right. Yeah. No. I mean, I got into sales in about 5th grade, where I sold candy door to door for $1.25 a box.
This
profit,
is exactly
right?
where I want to start. Yeah.
So that's where I kind of cut my teeth in getting to talk to people. But eventually, you know, long story short, it landed me at the University of Nebraska. Like many carriers have, Emeritus offered me a group school experience. So I spent 4 months in claims, in underwriting chairs, answering customer service phone calls, learning about what dental and vision insurance are, how important they are, and then eventually they shipped me to Costa Mesa, California, which is where I really kind of cut my teeth in the insurance industry. Had a great 5-year stint managing our Orange County markets and getting to know all the great broker partners that we have in that community, and working with GAs such as yourself. Through that success, I was able to get into a leadership role, which actually took me up to the Pacific Northwest, where I oversaw a team up there. And then in 2019, I was blessed with the opportunity to become the Vice President of the Western Region, 13 Western states, 18 sales reps, around $200 million in annualized premium, with the responsibility of growing it. So it's fun and it's exciting for me to get the opportunity to come back to California, kind of where I cut my teeth, and be on a Coffee with Carriers with you and engaging with the broker community throughout California.
Absolutely, and so there's a lot of in-depth California history and background that you have that you're kind of bringing to the table as the Western Region Vice President, right? It's probably a good resource for our folks to tap into
Sure.
When it comes to selling Emeritus in our area. Specific to your role and you being up in Seattle, I mean, what brought you up there initially?
It was success, in being a sales rep and producing and spreading the good word that is Emeritus Dental and Vision Insurance throughout the Southern California marketplace. And like all good sales organizations do, they pluck some of the best sales reps out and turn them into managers. And not always does that work out, but luckily for me and for Emeritus, it has worked out. And we have 8 sales reps now in California that I work with regularly. And in having the experience in being here as a sales rep myself, I understand where they are, and I understand how important the broker community is and the general agency model is, especially Amwins, in serving that kind of small group under 100 marketplace.
And that's why we bring people on the show, right? We want them to be able to articulate the value prop of their organization. And so, I mean, Jake, do you want to jump in from your perspective, maybe a little bit of history about Emeritus as well?
By all stretches, we're an old organization, right? Born out of 1887, I believe, so well over 100 years. And you look at our history, and we were a small insurer out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Bankers Life Insurance Company slowly grew to one of the top 100 insurers in the nation. And after that, in the mid 80s, we changed our name over to Emeritus, which is a combination of America and merit. I think a really healthy combination, and something that still truly lives today. And if you look at our logo, it's the bison, although it gets mistaken a number of times for a lot. It's a very stylized bison. I mean, we've gotten turkey before. We've gotten turkey. I think the most recent was panda, which is kind of insane. But still, at the end of the day, that bison is just a great representation, I think, of the strength that we have, our Midwestern roots, the really quality work ethic that we bestow. But as an organization, I think what's amazing about the group division is we've got a very deep, singular purpose, and it's within two finite lines of coverage. It's within dental and vision, and that's really driven how we've created decisions. Obviously, as a mutually held organization, our customers are our owners, and that unique structure allows us to create strategic decisions, obviously based on the long term. Allows us to be very formidable with the way that we acquire new firms, new dental organizations into Emeritus. And I think also just kind of creates all the way down to that member dental and vision level, the way we have our employer experiences, because they are our owners.
Thanks, Jake. So that's a little bit about the history of the organization, and I think what we're here to discuss is where you are today. Emeritus is well known throughout the insurance industry, and it's relatively new to me, but I'm relatively new to insurance as well. So I would love it. I'm going to throw it up to the both of you. Where is Emeritus today? What do you want brokers to take away from this video?
I think where we are today is stronger than ever. As he touched on, being mutually held and being around since 1877. When I talk to our CEO, our CFO, this is a legacy company that wants to continue to persist, to be here 100 years into the future, and I fully believe that we will be here in 2077 to celebrate a 200-year anniversary. We're here, we're talking about the group division of Emeritus, and we're going to go deep into that as we have this conversation. But I want to step back just a little bit to reinforce the overall enterprise perspective that is Emeritus. And within the enterprise, we have an individual life, an individual disability division. We have a 401k retirement plan division. The fact is, as a mutually held company, we can be trusted. We are going to be here for a long time. And if we were publicly traded, we would be a Fortune 1000 company around 700 or 800, given the fact that we have approximately $40.2 billion of assets under management. But what we're here today to talk about is the group dental and vision market. And when I started with Emeritus 15 years ago, 14 and a half, which is a similar time to when Jake started, specific to our dental group division, we had approximately $600 to $700 million of annualized premium and around 3 million members. Wow. And so we've been here for 14 years. We've been a part of the growth. Now we're at $1.7 billion block of business and north of 8 million members across the country. We are on a solid growth trajectory, and we're investing a lot in technology and where we go into the future, which Jake will touch on. Where we are today is in a pandemic. As a leader of sales reps in the field, we're focusing on controlling what we can control. And that means a lot of virtual meetings and trying to be creative and building relationships in an environment where historically they were built in person. Emeritus has seen pandemics before. We've seen world wars, right? We've seen a lot of things, and we are persisting, into the future. And now, it's about what we do next. And so, I think that's part of what we want to get into.
Yeah, I think that's some phenomenal insight, and it's interesting. Like, if a company does more than one thing, right? It's not often that the people that are outside of that space understand the whole pie, right? And I actually think about my Amwins experience in that way too. We're part of the group benefits division, but there's 4 other divisions. I mean, the company's massive. They have a 150-year vision, into the future. And honestly, it's been an amazing organization to work for. And so we find ourselves explaining a little bit more about the full picture of Amwins as well when we're talking about Amwins Connect here in the California marketplace, because brokers want to know. And brokers want to know more about Emeritus as well. What does Emeritus today mean to you? What do you need everybody to know?
What's really special about this organization, and as Todd touched on it, we've got 9 million customers in the nation, which is a healthy amount, and it's through a number of different divisions. So regardless of where you go, somebody is being touched by one of our products and services. The group division's so unique. You talk to some of our sales reps, and I think some of you have. Certainly some of the general agencies and the RSMs that we work with, and they'll tell you our sales reps get oddly excited about 2 lines of coverage, right? Dental and vision. And I think what's really, really changed, and kind of how we've adopted this industry, especially when Todd and I were growing up, was we had this great product suite. We're naturally a utilization insurer as a dental and vision carrier, right? We want to encourage healthy utilization, and we know that healthy utilization is a positive predictor for overall health, right? And so our products were defined and designed by that way. And so early on in the 2006s, you see these products that were out there, dental rewards, the rollover programs that permeate the industry. You see these incentive co-insurance plans that within dental and vision reward employees for, staying with the organization as a talent retention tool. You see the real dollar LASIK and sound care development. Some of these unique products that I think really are starting or had shifted the way that we sell dental and vision and brought us to prominence. Consumer demand's shifted. We've had to recognize that. We've taken a deeper view, obviously in the technology space, but naturally that comes through number one. We've got to equip our top producers, our consultants, all the agencies, general agencies that we work with real quality consumer-facing data and analytics. They've got to be equipped as specialists in the industry. And then also, secondly, it's making sure we pair and work really tightly with those benefits administration companies, with the enrollment platforms, with the decision support tools that make those buying decisions so unique. And we just have to realize that, hey, we've got a great enrollment experience, but it may just not be the one that the employer's used to or have trusted for years. And the deeper that we can partner with those types of organizations, the better we're going to be in the long term.
Yeah, and to educate that consumer, right, to get them on the Emeritus bandwagon. One of the things that we've noticed in the last few years even is just this infiltration of insurtech, right? Things are changing rapidly, and so as an organization, as a response to this, we actually host a show called Beta. The next one's going to be in 2022. And it's for brokers and carriers and anybody that's on the forefront of wanting to improve the process through technology to get together and sort of be forward thinking about it and move in that direction of improving the benefit space, through the utilization of technology, making it available. And I really want to understand, first of all, I want to invite you both to Beta next year because I think Emeritus would be an amazing partner there. But I really want to understand how Emeritus is looking at technology. How are you sort of changing your landscape there with technology?
Well, thanks for the invite, first off. That's fantastic. And it is. I think it's the question of our days, certainly right now, especially where the flow of money's going, especially where carriers are thinking. I think all of us really want to, and will tout that we're looking for digital transformation. We're looking to automate the full policy life cycle. And it's no question that everybody's involved there. We all want APIs. We all love that terminology. What's it actually mean for the consumer? What's it actually mean for the employer? I think that's being fleshed out in the industry right now. The challenge that we have as carriers right now is we're all getting there in a different way. And and I think that's the majority of that reason is because there's no standardized method or mandate for the control or the flow of that eligibility data, unlike the way that the banking industry had. I think the real work that's involved from a carrier's perspective is kind of finding that unique and delicate balance. It's okay, we've got to work with those larger benefits administration platforms, enrollment platforms, and those technology companies that are going to drive that from a consumer standpoint, yes, but it's also meeting our customers and our top producers where they also want to see that shift. I think it's the merriment of theirs. Of course, we're going to have Ease and Employee Navigator and Plan Source. Those connections are really unique, so they're driving the way that we're changing the way that configuration APIs and eligibility APIs are kind of shifting that user experience.
Brokers are looking to organizations to be on the forefront of like improving the process through technology. So it sounds like Emeritus has a good jump on this. I'm interested to know, and this is the $1 million question, right? How is Emeritus winning in California? And I'm going to throw it up to the both of you. I think that's why we're here. That's the nuts and bolts of it.
That is a very good question. I think that's why we're here, is to discuss, where we're winning business. And as Jake likes to use the term, Emeritus is a deep and narrow focus on dental and vision by design. And as funny as it might sound, that deep and narrow focus is why we're winning business right now. And what I mean by that is I get the opportunity to lead a team of sales reps to go out to partner with our broker partners and our GA partners to deliver a great product to the end user, the employer group, and their members. So having that deep understanding of dental contracts, what's important to that demographic of that group differentiates us a little bit from our competitors that might have a more robust product portfolio. In analyzing, the census and studying the demographics of a group, for example, if we see a high concentration of females between the age of 20 and 35, my team is trained and knowledgeable deep and narrowly. In dental, we're going to suggest a maternity benefit, because what we know as dental experts is you are 7 to 10 times more likely to deliver a premature or low birth weight baby if you have untreated periodontal disease. Where we also shine is we understand where dental fits into the overall healthcare conversation, and we are lucky in a way that we don't have to deal with some of the real costs, the real effects of medical insurance, right, and life insurance and disability insurance, where as carrier reps, you're having to talk about cancer diagnoses and what that means on the spend that the employer is going to be facing. If you're, representing life insurance, somebody passes away, you're dealing with dependents that are in a rough situation. And we do that in other divisions of Emeritus on the individual side. But with the group division, the 8 sales reps that oversee California for Emeritus in the West, and the other 10 in the Western region, we are going deep into that demographic information, and we're suggesting plan designs that more closely align with the makeup of that group. And we have a lot of flexibility going down to almost three lives. It's kind of about solving problems, right? And maybe partnering with the broker to uncover some problems they might not even be aware of, because they are heavily focused on this high dollar spend that you see with medical and some of these other lines. I was just in San Diego earlier in my trip down here to film this with you, and I got to meet with some of our broker partners and actually follow around one of our best reps in the entire country. And I like how she kind of positions dental and vision, and it really is a spotlight benefit, right? This is something that you have medical increases, you have changes, these are stressful events for people. Dental is, and vision, right? We're helping create beautiful smiles, right? We're bringing life into focus. These are things that you can spotlight as an employer to have a little bit of feel good during that renewal time. I just love that message, right? And so that's the message that we bring to our producers and our partners, that then they carry forward to the decision makers at the employer level. And it seems to be working because, historically the Western region has maybe had a little second fiddle to some of the other regions within Emeritus. And right now we're leading the pack, we're doing very well, and continued emphasis on partnership with GAs, our national partners, which Jake helps oversee from a broker perspective, as well as what we call your mom and pop shops, your local independents.
I think the most common question that we get from producers, from employers as well, is it's just dental and vision, right? And we get that all the time. Why? Because it's naturally, it takes about 5% of the conversation that happens in a buying decision for medical, dental, and all of your other ancillary carriers and all the value adds that you have within the suite. What's also very unique is that as an employee, you're spending significantly more time, in most cases, in a dental chair than you are at a doctor or using those other lines. And so I think there's a better opportunity for us to identify care gaps, and there's a better opportunity for us to really provide what I would classify as very critical insights to employers, to producers, on how dental can actually be impactful to the overall medical wellness.
Yeah, and this is where we'll be going into the future, is seeing if there's a creative way from our position to help with the overall healthcare of an individual. And the other thing that I think about kind of right now, you've seen mental health benefits really explode, and they're needed, and people are struggling. And as I was preparing for this conversation with you, and I started thinking about, where does dental fit in, right? Where does vision fit in? And in many ways, I think it can be thought of as a mental health benefit in some ways, right? So if an employer can offer a dental benefit that's going to help somebody have a better smile, think about the confidence that might do for them, and some of the mental health benefits that you don't even really think about. So in some ways, I think dental and vision can be a little bit of a mental health benefit as well. We're winning business because we understand where we fit in. Our job is to lift the broker up in terms of having a spotlight dental and vision benefit, and making sure things run smoothly from a service perspective, because their time and effort is really needed a lot more in managing the healthcare spend. So that's what our team focuses on, is having you trust us in placing that dental and vision business with us, trusting that it will run smoothly, trusting that it will be quiet and persist over time.
Yeah, no, a great answer. So, street level expertise, a deep knowledge of your products, and, I think the flexibility that the employer and the brokers really need. You guys were way more articulate, but I feel like those are the points I think.
Yeah, you're spot on. And also just from the service side, right, being deep and narrow in dental is when you call Lincoln, Nebraska, which is where our call center is headquartered. You're not calling anywhere outside of the US, right? You're calling Lincoln, Nebraska. Our CSRs, the folks that answer our customer service phone calls, literally have to take 240 hours of training and testing before they answer one customer service phone call. So this leads to a 97% first call resolution rate, right? This leads to us being able to persist 92 to 93% of our business for the entire time that I've been an Emeritus associate. And again, Jake and I started 14 years ago, and historically we're persisting our business at a 92 to 93% rate, which I really suggest and wish, I guess, that the broker community would add maybe a little bit more to that spreadsheet versus coinsurance and rates, and maybe ask, what is your first call resolution rate? Right? What is your average speed to answer? Because again, that's been 11 to 12 seconds for us for a long time. And
Right.
at what level are you persisting business? Because it is about trust. And that's what we're looking to build, is that trust that you can place business with us. It's going to be quiet and allow me to focus on some other things.
Some folks are rate focused, and that's not the whole story. That's not the whole picture. It never should be. The whole
Right.
picture should be how your clients are being treated. And Emeritus has this amazing training program and call center and support system. You know it's reliable, and you know that you're maintaining business throughout because you have a historic track record of this. So one of the things that I never forget as long as I live, one of the first jobs I've ever had, my CEO comes to me, and we outsourced billing and administration in P&C space. And he said, Jeff, if you clean your own house, you're going to walk through afterwards and you're going to forgive a spot on the window or some dust behind the couch, right? That's because you cleaned your house. If you pay somebody else to clean your house, you're going to zero in on that little spot on the window or the dust behind the couch, and that's going to be a problem, right? If you trust your customer service to an organization and they drop the ball, then that's a problem. If your customer service is in-house, like, you're going to forgive some of those things because you're handling it yourself. And when people use Emeritus, they're getting that support system, that amazing customer care, which is, again, above and beyond just a rate, above and beyond just a plan. So I think it's important thing to kind of continue to harp on.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's what I'm building the team around, right? We have a team that truly cares and shows up and tries and is invested in their community from a nonprofit perspective. We're starting to get more and more involved in the local communities across California, across the region, to show that we're present. Yes, we're headquartered in Lincoln, Nebraska, but we have group associates and sales reps all across the country. And so encouraging them to become more involved in a part of the community, I think just better connects them and allows others, brokers who are heavily involved in the community, to also see them there and trust them with that business.
So with the robust service model that you guys are providing, the training, the attention you're paying to customer care, I mean, why don't you elaborate a little bit about what you're building specifically?
That's in our home office and with our customer service sales associates in Lincoln, and that just reverberates out across the country to folks like myself and leaders in the organization, because the way that we are structuring and building out our sales team is we are looking for and only hiring folks that truly care, that want to be in the community, that these things that, again, don't show up on a spreadsheet, that differentiate an Emeritus rep, say, compared to maybe some others out there that don't have that attention to what it really means to be a true partner.
So let's talk a little bit about Emeritus and just the GA partnership in general, not only your outlook and what, I'd love to know what you guys both think about, you know, the GA partnership. How much stock are you putting in?
Yeah, well, I'm obviously very bullish on it, right?
Right, yeah.
That's why we're here.
And we're very panda on it, based on your...
Or very panda.
Yeah,
I love it.
Or very bison on it, sure. Maybe Jake would be better.
Yeah.
Why don't you take that one, Jake?
And you know, what you expect out of GAs, right? And so, go ahead. I mean, I'd love to...
Well, naturally, there's an expectation of partnership both ways. And I think, you know, what's amazing is that we've had a partnership for quite some time. I mean, it's been since 2006. I know that I was working with LISI. That was the first way that I got kind of moved into that sales community, was by partnering with an LISI, now Amwins RSM. And it was a great way to learn just kind of the dynamics in a local community. And they're fantastic, of course, for that. That's, I think, one very small portion. We're looking at this partnership in two very distinct ways. One, of course, is the expansion of the CoPower One product and solution. I think that's a phenomenal fit for Emeritus. We're a best-in-class carrier from a dental perspective. We're being paired with a couple of other lines of coverage to really, you know, invoke that very simplified enrollment experience in a single rate. And I'm really excited about how we're going to expand that. And the second, I think, naturally, is just we're growing with how you're growing. As I'd mentioned, you know, we've had a relationship since back in 2006 with LISI, even earlier than that with the MAG team. And as your teams are going more in the upmarket space, as are we, and the value I think that we're going to be able to provide is a lot of that consumer-facing data and analytics that really separate yourself from a lot of the competition. And obviously we've got to give back, considering this fantastic exposure, one that is considerably unique and certainly appreciated, Jeff. So.
Yeah, I know, it's our pleasure. I mean, we like to bring our sales and marketing partnerships to the next level for our carrier partners, and this type of stuff is an honor for us. We really appreciate it. It goes a long way to educate our brokers and our reps. This works on both sides of the coin, right? Internally, I think it's a good way to educate our folks too. And so you guys are bringing some great stuff to the table here. Todd, anything to add in terms of GA partnership, how you guys are utilizing?
Well, I mean, you said you kind of look at it in two distinct ways. There might be a third, and it's just continued engagement and being extremely hyper focused on partnering more with the RSMs and the sales folks across the country, mostly California, with your RSMs, from my team. And so in becoming a leader of the Western region in the last 3 years, I don't know if there was that emphasis or that drive in the past. And because I had that experience and that unique opportunity to be in this market and kind of understand the value and the opportunity that exists, the message is heard loud and clear from the folks the sales reps in California that work for Ameritas, that we want to be your best partner. And that means partnering with them, right? That means getting out in the community, volunteering with them, doing nonprofit work. It means showing up at brokers' offices together and solving problems. And that's ultimately what we're here to do in a sales capacity. Is if it's not broke, there might not be anything to fix. So, but when you're experiencing a rate increase or you're having a customer service issue, I think that's probably a good time to review the market and be thinking about Emeritus, because some of those statistics I mentioned earlier around service and trusting us and mutually held, and that we're going to be here for a very long time and that we truly care.
And that we're just very, very aligned philosophically, I think. I think we're very fortunate that we still work in an industry where people sell and do business with people that they like, right?
Which isn't the case in
and
many
I think
industries.
certainly, yeah. And this is just the best of, this is just the start of obviously what we're going to be building in the future.
Our job with your folks is to expand the message of that spotlight benefit and talk about some of those differentiators that we didn't necessarily go into a lot. And Jake kind of started it off about, when this all started back in 2006 and dental plans started to innovate, right? And you have these rollover benefits. I just want to clear the record right now. And for the record, Emeritus created the rollover benefit before anybody else. Shout out to Martin Hall. Martin Hall in our Lincoln office is the individual that created this. And that's just a funny kind of side story, and it's a great product, so other carriers have mimicked it, and now everyone kind of has a rollover benefit. But another little tidbit is what we have now, what I call rollover 2.0, right? And rollover 2.0 allows members to use dollars that they've banked in that rollover account towards vision benefits, right? Towards orthodontia, towards LASIK, towards sound care. So again, getting off the spreadsheet, kind of being a spotlight benefit. Some of the other things that make us a little unique and different is that when you purchase a dental plan, you're getting oftentimes more than just the dental coverage. Part of the reason you get so much more than just the dental coverage is because across the country, Emeritus has such a large block of voluntary dental business. And when somebody's making a voluntary decision, it does help with enrollment when they know, okay, I'm getting a dental program, but I'm also going to get the ability to cover out-of-pocket expenses for my vision care. If I'm interested in LASIK, it's almost like an FSA account tied to your dental plan with this rollover 2.0. Or, more and more Americans are experiencing hearing loss at a younger age because everything
We are.
because everyone's putting earbuds in their ears, and so the hearing benefit and adult and child orthodontia.
Exactly, and those are the type of experiential benefits, I think, that really create a cool ecosystem for employees. We want to create experiences, but we live in this intangible benefit world, right? I mean, the example on that rollover benefit I had Invisalign. I know you can't tell, yes, I forgot to wear my retainers last night, but my Invisalign, because of those rollover benefits being able to be flowed into that orthodontic coverage, ended up being $500 out of pocket. My wife had her LASIK procedure and paid $300 for a $4,700 experience because of those real dollars that
because you're on the Emeritus dental plan,
and because we have our own dental, of course.
Yes, but with the LASIK benefits and some of these things to help cover these out-of-pocket benefits. So I think we kind of got a little bit lost there, but I think we wanted to talk about too some of those differentiators from a product perspective, outside of just truly caring, being in the community, showing up, servicing, is the blocking and tackling of the dental product portfolio and the vision portfolio, which is VSP and IMED. That's a little bit unique to Emeritus, having the ability to offer two very large vision networks in the entire country is you can actually kind of access both with the one administrator, paired with, obviously some of the unique things we do in the dental space.
Jake, Todd, amazing to have you both here today. I couldn't be happier with, I think, the conversation that we've had, and I love, final thoughts.
Emeritus is uniquely positioned in the market today to be your dental and vision partner because we are so deep and narrowly focused on those product lines. And we're going to bring a level of expertise, hopefully a level of trust, that you can place your clients with us, and that we have folks that work at Emeritus that truly care about that experience. Trust is something that I feel like if you can walk away from this discussion that we've helped build in your understanding of who Emeritus is, where we come from, and kind of where we're going, then we've hit our mark today. Because as a leader of the Western region and these folks that help partner with our brokers, that's ultimately what we're working to develop, is that trust.
No, that's great. And Jake, brokers, employers, what do people have to know?
The thing that resonates with me is we're making it very clear that this is the relaunch of Emeritus, not just for California. and the former RSMs that we'd work with out here, but for the entire nation. And that's what's really special. It's been a long relationship that we've had. We're building on some prior successes, adding obviously a tremendous amount of innovation. Todd's done a great job with the Western region. That's going to continue out the States, obviously in the couple initiatives that we had talked about. It's just the start of a really, really fun, I think, and dynamic partnership together.
I had a blast having you guys here today. Really excited to work with you in Northern and Southern California as we, go to do some co-sponsored events and just get the partnership moving in the right direction. So thank you both for coming, and thank you for tuning in to another Coffee with Carriers, and we hope to see you again soon.